Well, hello there and welcome back to this F1 2017 career mode with Sauber. We're at round 8, the Azerbaijan street circuit in Baku. We're just about to do qualifying. As you can see, it's like Canada, it's absolutely pissing down outside. So the first thing we'll do, we'll listen to the voicemail, then talk about practice and other little things before we go to the session. 18th and beat Felipe Massa, our new rival, Felipe Massa. So, yeah, I think 18th is very achievable. I think the conditions might change in qualifying. But as for the practice sessions, everything has gone okay apart from the qualifying pace one. I only managed to get green on that, and then on my second lap I clipped the wall and damaged front wing. So that was the end of that, unfortunately, and I didn't have another set of super soft tyres. So, we got, I think, 255 instead of 275, but that's fine. Resource points 2,177, which means that we're going to have a bit of fun after this race, and I am very, very tempted to do this, which will leave us at least 600, and this will be 600, so then maybe we can start. I don't think I'm going to bother doing the last one to get it down to 500, really. The other advantages, of course, is maybe going over to the powertrain and doing this, which will be 1,800. That then drops it down to, it will be 700, won't it? And that will leave us with 300, maybe 500. I don't know. I might just end up spending to get things cheaper, or I might start upgrades. I'm just sort of winging it out at the moment. Although I have made a decision, aero is going to be strictly the last thing I'll do. So I want to get all the chassis done. And the powertrain done as well, and I might use like the end of season bonus to get the first couple of the cheaper bits done for the aero, but we're going to be focusing on these two more than anything, before everything else, I should say. The power units then, onto our second unit for all of the things now. 44% on the ICE, 33 on the MGUK, the MGUH is at 32, energy stores at 18, that's usually quite good, turbochargers 33, and the electronics are 14, they're usually quite good as well. As for everything else, you can see it on the left hand side. I might use them for the practice session next time out, but for the qualifying in the race we'll be on unit number 2, which is not too bad. We're at round number 8, we're almost half of the season and we're still on the second unit, so we have taken on a 5th unit for everything, if you remember, at Monaco, so I think we might be okay. Gearbox then, obviously onto our second one, 17%, so I reckon after qualifying the race will be in the low 20s. Not too bad again. Hopefully it won't go all too bad. The rating's gone down a little bit with some of the teams, just because I ended up crashing at the end of FP3, I think on my 3rd or 4th lap, so that's not too good. So right, we'll go to qualifying then. We'll have a look at the weather, because I think it's heavy rain and then maybe intermediates or something like that. And with Baku as well, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to make sure I get around this track without crashing into the wall. So it is absolutely teeming down. The first thing we'll do is go up the setup, just have a look, see the difference in the intermediates and the wets. Not much difference. So car setup then, we'll drain the fuel out. Actually I might go a bit more, try to do 2 laps. Aero's 3.3, that is coming up to 7.7, I think we'll do 7.7 in qualifying. Transmission 50-70, suspension geometry you see there. 11.5, 11.5, 11.3 for the suspension setup. Brakes 95, I've gone up to 95 on this. Tyres high on the front, low on the rear, and the weight distribution is at 7. So I'm happy with that. I've added a shitload of wing to deal with the wet conditions. So we'll have a look at qualifying. Then the first 10 minutes is going to be heavy rain. Is it going to drop down and be a little bit better towards the end? It is, but it might be too late. And as for the race, you can see that it's going to start intermediate, so then dry off eventually. So a good grid position here in the wet will help us for the start in the race, because we're good in the wet, as you know, and if we can do well in the race, by the time the dry tyres come and we start to slip back, we might still be in a good position to score some points. So we'll go out on track on the wet tyres and we'll do a lap, come back in, see where we are, and see if we can stick on a set of inters for a glory run at the end. So I think this is the first time I've driven in the wet round here in Baku. I don't know if I can take this flat or not. Oh, we clipped the wall a little bit. Fortunately, no damage. Yeah, that's not flat, I don't think. Not for me. Right then, we'll get a lap on the board. Hopefully we'll survive and see where we are. So then I've quickly changed onto a set of intermediate tyres. I think it was just over 3 minutes left, so I've got to get out of there very quickly if I'm going to make this work. Currently down in 10th place. Wasn't a brilliant lap, but I'm going to go out in intermediates now because they're a couple of minutes quicker. And yeah, let's get out there straight away, do an out lap, and yeah, you never know, we might actually be able to improve. Right, 50 seconds left of the session. Let's go for it. So we've ended up, just like in Canada, in the changing conditions, in 4th place. Just about managed to beat Verstappen and Perez, and Hamilton's ended up 7th, even those on the wet tyres. But Bottas has taken pole. Vettel and Raikkonen second and third, separated by 1,000ths of a second. I don't think this time I would have been able to get top 3. I made a couple of little mistakes on that lap, but nothing that was like 7/10 worth. So I'll take 4th place. The start of the race is going to be the same conditions as well, so hopefully we can make a good start. Further down, our rival Massa is in 8th place. Not much change. Ricciardo down in 15th after he decided to not go out in the Inters. Alonso, Van Dorn, Magnussen, Grosjean. Magnussen was on the wet tyres as well. And Verline 4.7 seconds off the pole. So, like Canada, we'll be starting this race from 4th place. So then the resource points for qualifying, another healthy amount. 2262 in total. Our rivalry, yeah, you only get that for qualifying. So we've already won ahead of Massa. And the approval has gone up with some of the teams. It's all a bit staggered at the moment, as you can see, because of the last poor practice sessions and Monaco as well. So, but we'll keep plugging away, and hopefully things go well and we can get everything back up there again. And so now we'll listen to the voicemail. Oh, it's sunny outside. That is a surprise. It was saying it was going to be wet. Okay. 14th. Start again. Finished 14th for higher, beat Massa, and remained 16th in the championship. I've just noticed that side. If you look carefully, it is actually light raining, so it deceived me there for a minute. But it is quite well clear out there, I'd say. A bit cloudy, but a bit clear. So yeah, I think it is going to be dry at some point in the race. Not much else to look at then on the laptop. I'm not going to be changing any bits. Starting from 4th place. Yeah, we're going to need a clean first couple of laps, that's for sure. And yeah, just look after the car, look after ourselves, and try to make some gains on the leaders if we can, and then wait for the dry conditions to arrive. So we'll go to the track, have a look at the strategy and the weather forecast, and see what we can do.
We're almost ready to go then. This is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen and the Sauber, Max Verstappen and Perez, Hamilton, Massa, Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz. Stroll, Ocon, Daniel Kvyat and Palmer, Ricciardo, Alonso, Stoffel, Van Dorn and Kevin Magnussen. Grosjean and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid.
Yeah, 4th place indeed on the grid. So yeah, there we go then. It's only going to be a few laps by the looks of it on the intermediates before it goes dry, although it's saying if it was wet throughout we'd stay on these tyres. So what it now comes down to is I'm probably expecting maybe the end of lap 5 or 6 to be going on to dry tyres. To be honest with you, I haven't really been looking at how much percentage I get on the tyres I do. The mediums won't be into question. We can choose any dry tyre we want, obviously, because the mandatory set goes out the rule if you have to run on either inters or wets at some point. So I'll probably go super softs, to be honest, depending on when it is, unless, of course, you know, people are in at the end of lap 3, then I might have to go softs. But I think it'd be around about lap 5-6, mid-race distance, something like that. So 13 laps in the race, 15.3 laps worth of fuel. That's okay, we'll run with that. So yeah, okay, we'll get the formation lap out of the way and start this race from 4th place. Here we are then on the grid. Short run to turn 1. Got to be careful we don't pinch our car into anything. Lights are out. Carried on to 4th place. So I've asked Jeff straight away down the straight. 10 minutes of rain at least. So yeah, this race is definitely going to be a majority of it, I think, in the intermediate tyres. So into lap 4, not much has really happened, just sort of circulating around, maintaining the gap to the Ferraris ahead of Verstappen, now Hamilton behind, he's got past Verstappen. 5 to 10 minutes more of rain. Right, Jeff's just come over the radio, there we go, look, Jeff's come over the radio and said, do you want to change to the super soft tyres? Some drivers are going to pit, some are not. I'm very surprised that it's good enough for dry tyres. Some guys are in. We're up to 3rd place. Raikkonen has made a pit stop. But it's still raining here. I wouldn't. I mean, if I'm still... doing decent lap times, I don't see the reason why I should pit. Yeah, look, I'm just over 2 tenths up in my personal best. I know we're running rich mix, but if it was really dry conditions, the rich mix wouldn't be helping that much. So I genuinely don't think it's dries. Okay, that was a late call to come into the pits. I noticed it just stopped raining as we were coming at the final couple of corners, and I think pretty much everyone else is in now, so I think this was the lap to probably do it. Bottas has already made a pit stop, you can see there, and he's coming out ahead of us in the super softs. We've gone super softs as well, so now it really does come down to where we rejoin. Van Dorn's at the race. Looks like we're being jumped by the Mercedes of Hamilton. Oh, and Hamilton's, we've clipped the back of Hamilton. I'm going to come under attack from bloody everyone here. Oh, and that Verstappen giving us a love tap. I think it might have been. So up to 4th place then. A couple of people have now come off the intermediate tyres, but we've got a damaged front wing. It's going to be difficult to hold on here for the second half of the race. I'm going to be hemorrhaging positions here. Can we try it back on Hamilton to turn 1? Oh, it's close! You keep 4th. But this damaged front wing is really hurting, so I can't go flat through here. I have to lift in the first part. Oh, everyone's just queuing up. Look at this. Oh, I'm a 4 wide. Oh, wow. That was incredible. Up, clip the wall again, a little bit more damage. Oh, not being able to go flat out through there is really hurting. We've got Massa and probably Hulkenberg as well. Hamilton's dropped off a little bit, not too sure why. Here comes Massa with the Mercedes power, and Hulkenberg's going to try and squeeze through as well. More side-by-side action. Oh, bit of contact there with the Renault. But we'll squeeze him out to at least stay in 7th for now. Oh, he's back up our inside. Cheeky bastard. No. Trying to make it work. Couldn't. Down to 8th now. Now we've got Hamilton and the rest of the field are catching up as well. We're in real danger here, not even scoring any points. And I've creamed into the back of Hulkenberg under braking. And it's just going fucking bad to worse now. God almighty. It's just waiting for everyone to just plough into me or something. Oh, Toro Rosso, what are you doing, fella? And he's forced us off the road and the Red Bull as well. Don't know which one it was. But our race is now definitely over. We've got a busted front wing. We're back in 12th outside the points. So, yeah. It's going to be a poor end to the race now. Well, our next target is to try and claim 14th place to achieve our session goal, but we're being swamped by both the Haas cars here and Palmer as well. Oh, it's a late one. Oh, off comes the front wing completely. Still got a battle. Oh, into the... Oh, this has just gone to shit. Here comes Grosjean then. We've got no front wing now, so there's fuck all we can do. Oh, Palmer moves in front of us in the brake line. That doesn't matter really. We did hit him. We've got Alonso now. Obviously, I've had to lift off massively through them two corners there. I won't fight you if you try to get past there. Let's see what Honda with DRS against a Sauber with no front wing. It's like, I can't do shit, look. Fucking hell. I think it's the first time I've seen a McLaren on track for about 4 races. 7, couple of corners to go. Can we hold off Alonso? Here comes Verline as well. No, no. Ah, Verline got us at the end. So really disappointing end there. Bottas has won with Vettel second, Raikkonen third, Perez good points for Force India with 12 points for fourth, and our rival Massa was 6th in the end. Hamilton could only do 8th from 7th place on the grid, and further down we did end up in 17th place. Verline just pipped us to the line. 4th on the grid to 17th. Very disappointing. Only Alonso and Ricciardo, who was pushed off by me, who was pushed off by Sainz. It was Sainz at turn 1, and Van Dorn failed to finish. So we'll have a look at the race director. Don't know if there's anything interesting in there. Van Dorn had a mechanical failure. Sainz got a warning for twatting me off the track. Thank you very much. So we'll have a quick look at the standings then. Bottas has now retaken the lead over Raikkonen, just 1 point between them. And it's even closer between Vettel and Hamilton. They're tied on 110 points in 3rd and 4th. We've slipped down to 8th place thanks to Massa picking up a load of points. So we're now tied with Perez, who picked up that 4th place just now on 34 points. Nothing notable further down. In the constructors, Mercedes now have a 1 point lead over Ferrari because Bottas is 1 point ahead of Raikkonen. Red Bull safe in 3rd. Williams 12 points ahead of Force India, who have now jumped up ahead of us, and I'll be expecting them to stay ahead of us. Renault have closed up a little bit as well due to, I think, Hulkenberg picking up either a 7th or an 8th. Toro Rosso, a couple more points for them as well. Haas still on 3 and McLaren still yet to score. So the resource points, I think everything we're going to see now is going to be rather disappointing. Only 75, which could have been worse, to be honest. And the first driver bonus, which is now 10%, only 48 in that, when sometimes we're in the 60s. The rivalry, yeah, we would have dropped, well, only a point down on Massa, considering we had quite a poor race. Our fastest lap was nearly 3 seconds slower. Well, I think as soon as we went onto the dry tyres, we picked up wing damage, so that would have hurt us. Team approval, this would have been the worst weekend we've ever had. We not only failed to finish 14th, but we also lost out to our teammate, and you can see there McLaren have still gone up a little bit, which is nice to see, but everyone else has dropped down, which is upsetting really, because a lot of this was almost halfway, certainly the bigger teams. And the career score as well, the qualifying and the practice have been alright, but everything else is going to be fairly low, I feel. 85.80 is not too bad considering how the race went. And that's it then. So it's beautifully sunny outside in the city of Baku, and we have 2,385 resource points. Gearbox is now at 22%, which is nice. The power units all into the yellow now for the ICE. and I think most of this we'll be using in Austria. I believe Austria is the next one, is it? It is Austria, yeah. Where did we finish in season 1? 14th. So we'll try to do that, try to beat that if we can. So we'll have a look at the R&D tree. 2385 chassis. Right, I'm going to do this now. Wallop. That brings it down to 885. And to be honest, we're not that far away from doing that one. No, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. 600 then for the chassis. But if we look over here at 885, what have we got on the powertrain? 800 for that, which will bring all this down to 800 it'll be? It'll be 800. Yeah, it'll be 800, won't it? Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. 85 then. So we've now got 2 of the powertrains done, and we've got 4 of the chassis. I don't think I'm going to bother doing that just to save. You know, I need 1,750 to knock another 100 off, which means in my maths I need to do. Well, by the time I've done. I mean, really, is it worth it in the long run? Not really. Nah, I don't think so. But there we go then. So all of this now costs all the minor ones anyway, and we have 11 of them. That's a major one, and then we've got a couple of minor ones there as well, so we can't skip these. We have to do a major to get to a couple more minors, but we've got 11 here to do, 600 each. I reckon we could probably do, can we do 1 a weekend? It might be close. It might be more like 2 every, or 1 every 2 races, if that makes sense, or 2 of them every 3 races. You know, I think we'll probably end up with about 400 to 500 resource points each weekend. But there we go then. So now we're in a position to crack on with the chassis. It's taken until round 8 or round 9, but now we can actually start doing development on that, and we really need to, because we are quite a way behind, as you can see, with everyone else. Not much else to look at then. Qualifying was nice, 4th place again, like we got in Canada, and we were doing alright in the race, to be honest. And then we made the switch onto dry tyres, and I can't remember right now off the top of my head how we lost a bit of wing, but we did. Whether it's my fault or not, I don't know. It might have been because when we creamed into the back of Hulkenberg, that might have set it all off, and then I clipped the wall again, and then it just got worse and worse from there. So a bit of a disappointing race, certainly apart from Monaco, the worst one we've had so far. But Austria's up next. It's a track I like, so I'll be expecting to hopefully go very well there. So thank you very much for watching this episode. A shame it went downhill so quickly in the race, but that's life, and I hope you join me for the next one at Austria in a few days time. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.